we have a system of equations, which means we have two functions and we're looking to see where they intersect. And so for an intersection, we're trying to get both functions in the y equals format and set them equal. Here, one of them is already in the y equals format. The other one, we just have to do a little simplifying to make that happen. So we can distribute the 2 here. 2y plus 6 equals 2x plus 6. We can take away 6 from both sides. 2y equals 2x, and then divide by 2, and y equals x. So now we have y equals the x squared, and y equals x. And if we're setting them equal, then it'll look like this. X squared equals x. And now we have a quadratic, even though it doesn't look like a complicated one, but nevertheless, it's a quadratic because it has x squared and x. So the best thing we can do here is get everything on one side equal to 0, which means we're taking away x from both sides. And now we have a less common situation, but it does come up sometimes. It's called A-B factoring. And for A-B factoring, you want to use the GCF, the greatest common factor. Now, what do we mean by A-B? A quadratic's in the format of ax squared plus bx plus c. So the point is that because we have an x squared and an x, we have like an a and b, but we don't have any c. So that's the A-B of A-B factoring. And for that, we want the GCF, the greatest common factor. What's the greatest common factor between x squared and x? It's simply x. And if we factor it out, it leaves us with x minus 1. And now we can use the zero product rule, which says that our two items are multiplied together, and the answer is 0. So we can set each one equal to 0. X equals 0, x minus 1 is 0. And here you can add 1 to both sides. So we have x is 0 and x is 1. Now we know why they told us that x had to be greater than 0, because it can't be that one. It has to be that one. So if x is 1, what's y going to be? Well, y, we were told, is x squared, and x is 1, so y is 1 squared. So y came out to 1. So if x is 1 and y is 1, what's xy? X times y, 1 times 1, is simply 1, and we're done.